Proof degrees don't matter and wisdom is sold separately. So, this chick right here had this to say about educated men.
No shade, no tea, but sometimes you really got to date the guy with a degree because sometimes I need to be mentally stimulated. I need to be intellectually stimulated. If you don't intellectually stimulate me, we can't really be having a full conversation. Like, all you can tell me is fine shit and I'm bad. Like, that's not enough. Like, I got to see your philosophical standpoints. I need to see, like, do you agree with Aristotle's views? Like, I need to see all that. I need to hear all that. Like, I want to know what book you're currently reading. Me, I'm reading All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson currently. It's a pretty good book about being black and queer. So
this coffee smells like shit.
A future mother getting prepared to raise another gay son.
Oh, like I'm feeling it. That's my shit right now. Like, are you reading Art of War? Like, what are you reading? Are you reading Fahrenheit 451? Like, what are you into? Like, what are your topics of genres? Like what stimulates your mind? And I'm not necessarily saying that you need a degree to be well versed intellectually, but it helps.
Every person is free to live the life that they want to live. But rarely do you find modern women, and especially black women, who are reading books about how to raise a strong masculine man. I don't see it. So is some type of diversity, inclusion, queer book, or something like that. And she's here talking about dating a guy with a degree. But I get it. Doing that would be wrong. People in her comment section here are saying things like bachelor degree minimum. Somebody else here added, why isn't this the norm? Another person who says the bar is in hell. And so they're upset that men don't have degrees. You know, we just had this conversation not too long ago. They're deep in debt. Somebody else here added, y'all talk to guys without degrees. Here's somebody else that says they need to have 2 to 3, not going to lie, bachelor's degrees bare minimum. This shit's hilarious. This woman here, Brookie, says they need to have at least 3 degrees. At least 3. It's not enough. 1 is not enough. No. Guys, I'm getting somewhere here. Stay with me. Stay with me. Somebody else who says my man is in his PhD program and it's the most attractive thing. That's good for him. Somebody else who says having a degree doesn't mean that they will have a good character, be faithful, or have emotional intelligence. I've only dated men with degrees, and yeah, they don't care. They don't care about that. They like things that don't make sense. This is somebody's probably not, but potentially future wife. Check it out.
So when you first encountered your first horse, like, how did you react? Like, I remember how I reacted. Like, Mr. Man, he had BDE before we was dating, right? So I was just like, like, I'm feeling you. You feel me? You putting in that pressure. You applying all the pressure, bitch. We making diamonds at this point. But there was just one unknown fact that I didn't know. And it's, does the BDE, like, do you really have it? Like, the physical form. So I'm saying here, I'm like, damn, how do you, like, ask a dude, like, hey, do you have a BD? We're talking about pickles here, people. We're talking about.
So in case you weren't sure what she was talking about, she wanted to clarify that she's talking about pickles. And to her future husband, who she hopes has a degree and is educated and is probably queer, who knows? Who knows what she's into? She hopes she has no problem posting a video on her page about how she got her cheeks senselessly and viciously pounded by a horse. Wisdom is sold separately.
My pickles. He like, shit, you just gonna have to find out. Find out? What do you mean by that? What he meant by that? And find out I did. Long and thick.
In case you wanted to know the dimensions. Somebody's future wife right here, guys. Somebody's future wife. Is there no shame? And this is why I say, man, lack of wisdom, lack of guidance. This is why people love Cassie's husband so much. They love that story. She could be herself. She could talk about all her different moments with other guys. And I'm not saying that she didn't go through a hard time, but the idea that people have of like They're always celebrating a man who's seriously going through it. I saw a video that was talking about how the only good examples of men are Russell Wilson and Cassie's husband. And I'm asking myself, what was your qualifier for picking those two men? I had to think for a little bit. And I was like, okay, I think I know where they're going with this. If you're a man who can accept a woman who has children by Pookie, Future, the guy who was toxic and wasn't a good man and he was only good for one thing, and put babies in it, multiple, and she barely got away, crawled her way out of the toxic relationship, traumatized. And you pick her up and dust her off and comb her hair, buy her a nice meal, and move her in, take care of her. That's what a real man does. Or in the Cassie situation, there were women who were literally saying he's the epitome of like what it means to be a great man because he is, despite what she went through, despite it, he was willing to look past her. Guys aren't looking for virgins out here. That's long gone. We understand for most people. But 300 freak offs. I can agree that there's a lot of that stuff that was sick, wrong. Are men allowed to say, hey, that's great. I wish the best for you, but that's not for me? Can they say that? Are they allowed to say that? Let's read a few of these comments. People talking about this. I don't know if I want to read a bunch of horse comments. What? Hurt so good. I laid there and took it. I'm out. Guys, of course, listen, avoid these chicks who lack wisdom, have all the degrees, have all the academic accolades, but aren't wise enough to know that a video of you talking about you getting pounded by a man who's not your husband as you prepare to look for a man and posting it. Again, we know people have their past. People have their past. But posting it proudly, describing it, you got to avoid the chicks who just don't get it. They're going to argue with you. Whatever. Yeah, sure. And we're toxic, right?
A formal education does not define a man. So many young women are growing up in these households where their parents are telling them to marry doctors, engineers, and lawyers. I am a lawyer, and when I look at me and my colleagues, I wonder what makes us so popular in the dating pool. My male colleagues can confirm that, and if you can't, just ask yourself, would you want your daughter to date you? Exactly. Keep it moving. Our parents grew up in a generation where a college degree meant something very different than what it does in today's world. We now live in the age of information. So many people that are growing successful businesses from YouTube University, from reading books. People don't need to go to a university to obtain a business degree anymore if they want to go open a business. And parents want to say, well, it requires work ethic and discipline and everything to get through a college degree, and that is not untrue. You have people in today's society just sleeping through Zoom university school of whatever. It is virtual, and it doesn't require the same work ethic in today's world to obtain a college degree. Now, that's not to say that it still doesn't require a level of work ethic and discipline. It's just very different than what it looked like back then. I would just tell young women in today's world, as a mom, as a divorce attorney, that there are so many other values that you should be looking for in a man. Is this the kind of person that is going to do the right thing when nobody is looking? Do they have integrity? Are they honest? What is their work ethic like? Is this somebody that is willing to go and break their back in this heat to make sure that his family is fed? Those are the kinds of values that I would rather have my daughter looking for in a man, as opposed to just, is he a doctor?
And to my currently engaged men, soon to be married men, or maybe you may be proposing soon. If you need a prenup but don't know where to start, head over to fathershaverights.com and access our guide that shows you how before you hire your attorney. Click the link into the top of the comment section. Appreciate you. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.